guys, so what's up? How's it going? I hope everything is well with you guys, and I'm back for another video for today. It's my off right now. It's Sunday, and I found some time to make a vlog, which I think is going to be very beneficial for you again. If you are on your process or you just passed your IELTS and you're looking for an agency to apply for, then you're probably on the right path in watching this video. So let's get started. Okay, so for today I would like to talk about my timeline in processing my papers for the UK, and I think I would have to start from the very old year where I initially thought I wanted to be in the UK. So first of all, why did I choose UK? It's because among all the other countries that I wanted to be in, like the US and Australia, I think UK has a very straightforward application process. It wouldn't take a lot of time for you to process the papers. It wouldn't take a lot of money from you because most agencies or employers are shouldering the expenses for you. And even if they're not going to do that, I think compared to other countries, UK is not going to ask a lot of money from you. So back in 2018, if you've seen my other vlogs, then you would know that I've worked in Saudi Arabia. I stayed there for almost 6 years, and I ended my contract in 2018. So before finishing my contract, or before exiting from that country, I decided to take IELTS in Saudi Arabia. That was in April 2018. April 7 to be exact, because that was my son's birthday. I decided to take the exam, and unfortunately I didn't get the target band score of 7 in writing. During that time it was still 7. So I was really frustrated, really sad, really depressed, and I had to go back home to Philippines. And to not waste my time, I applied in a tertiary hospital to hone my skills and to give myself an opportunity to have a higher chance of getting hired abroad, because I would have the experience working in a tertiary hospital. So I applied in National Kidney and Transplant Institute in Manila, if you're familiar with that hospital, and I spent like one year and 4 months. Yeah, so I ended my contract in January 2020. I was thinking about going back to Saudi Arabia to work again as a nurse, but then in my mind, while I'm working in Saudi Arabia, I said I would process my application going to UK from there. However, God has a really great way to just switch the plans that I have for myself. So what happened was, January 2020 I resigned from a job in the hospital in the Philippines, and then March, that was when the COVID happened. So I wasn't able to be deployed in Saudi Arabia, which is a good thing. So technically I was jobless for a few months, but what I did was I started teaching online for English to Japanese students, and I also started coaching for IELTS. So that's right, I'm a coach for IELTS. By the way, I'm going to give you my information later on if you want to avail of my service, because up until right now I'm coaching IELTS as a part-time, mostly during weekends. But anyway, so yeah, it's been like that. I worked from home for about a year, and during the pandemic I was like, I wanted to be productive, so I thought about attending seminars or short courses to continue my education and learning, since I no longer work in the hospital and I have to stay at home. So, and then I realized, why not just take IELTS, because that's what I intentionally wanted to do anyway if I was deployed in Saudi Arabia again. So I took my IELTS exam in July 2020, and holy freaking S, I was able to get my target band score. So I was really happy, because finally I was able to hurdle IELTS. Like, holy shit. So yeah, as soon as I get my result, I was jumping out of joy. I told my parents, my family, that hey, I already passed IELTS, blah blah blah. I'm no longer going to continue my application in Saudi Arabia, and that's what I did. I withdrew my application in Saudi, and I started applying for different agencies. So here are the agencies where I've passed my resume or my CV. So that's what I would advise you to do. So if you have recently passed IELTS or OET, if I was in your shoes, I would send my resume and my IELTS, the TRF form, all of these agencies. Like, I'm gonna bombard them with emails and I'll wait for them to call me, because that's what happened to me. So I just sent my CV and my IELTS to all of these agencies. I waited for their call. I was lined up for interview, and I even signed up for Work Abroad. So Work Abroad is a website where you can put in your, upload your resume, put in, all the information that you need there, and you can even search for a nursing job or nursing vacancy here in the UK. So you can also do that. You can send them an email there. Yeah, so basically broadening your network would really help you get into which kind of employer would you want to work on. Like, do you want to work in home care? Do you want to work in a tertiary hospital? Do you want to be this kind of nurse or that? So yeah, you really have to, hard work doesn't end when you pass IELTS. Like, you have to look for the environment that you want to be working in the UK. Between August and September, I've been contacting agencies, talking to them, setting up interviews, blah blah blah. Sometimes I would reject the offer because I don't like the place or I don't like the area I'll be working in. So finally in October, I got lined up for 2 interviews, different agencies and different employers. So if you're familiar with the agency Jane Lewis, so I didn't like the offer because the salary is not that big, although I know that there's like there's a criteria that's been set, or there's a range that's been set by the NHS for the salary, but probably I didn't like it because of the benefits that they do offer, like which kind of fees are they going to pay for, stuff like that. But anyway, I attended the interview because I heard that Jane Lewis are like deploying nurses in like what, 3 months or so. So that's what I was eyeing for, because during that time in 2020, that's where the problem rose about the banning of the nurses going abroad. So I really had this urge to just go out of the country, like go to the UK as a nurse. So yeah, that's the reason why I attended the interview in the Jane Lewis. But anyway, I didn't pass. It felt bad, yes, it felt disappointing, but again, if that happens to you, you shouldn't be worried about it, because there are a lot of opportunities waiting for you out there. God is just leading you probably to the right path, or the area that you really want to be working in. And yeah, because that's what happened to me. But anyway, same month, October 2020, I got interviewed by I think that was in Essex, like the Colchester Hospital. So it's a countryside as far as I know. I got interviewed, it was under Orange International. So yeah, I got interviewed. I did pass the interview, luckily, and I was processing my papers, right? During that time, another employer contacted me through email, and this was my current agency, right? So I really like the offer because they're going to pay for my experience, which I haven't really seen in any other employers or agencies. Like most of the agencies I've talked to, they're going to give you this specific range of salary, which is just like everybody else. But in this agency, they paid for my experience. I have like 10 years of experience, and they paid for all of it. So that was really, that was something that catch me to transfer to them. So what I did was I withdrew my application from the Orange International, although I haven't signed any contract yet. I haven't given them my passport or my original documents. I just needed to tell them that I'm sorry, I have to withdraw my application because there's another employer that gave me a better offer. So that's it. We didn't have any commitment together. So yeah, that's what happened. October, I started talking to this new agency. That agency is Profco, or Professional Connections. And during that time, I already processed my NMC Part 1 and 2 registration as well without, without even waiting for the employer. It's pretty weird actually, because Profco, or Professional Connections, actually is one of the agencies that I've applied to back in 2018 when I initially planned to go to the UK. Unfortunately, they turned me down just because I didn't have my IELTS yet. So it's like I just went back to the same agency, and I didn't know that I'm going to end up with them. But anyway, so yeah, October, I had my application processed with Profco. I really like this agency. Well, I think I'm going to have to talk about the agency later on in the later part. So let's focus on the timeline. So December, I took my CBT exam. The agency didn't tell me that I have to take this. It's just my personal decision to take the exam, because I know it's going to be needed anyway. So they said, okay, you're going to be interviewed on the 17th of December, and we're willing to wait for your CBT, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you can apply for an employer without finishing your CBT yet, because I think a lot of the applicants think that they have to be OSCE ready in order for them to be accepted by an employer, but that's not true, because Orange International before, I haven't even started my NMC Part 1 registration, and they already accepted me. They already lined me up for an interview, and I was interviewed already. So it doesn't matter in which part of your registration you are, but of course, you're going to be a better candidate if you have already process your NMC Part 1 and 2 registration, as well as your CBT exam. I've also done my IOM without having an employer yet. And then the interview came, 17th of December. I can clearly remember it. I came from Tagaytay, and I was on my way home to Manila. Okay, the interview was set to begin at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom, but I was stuck in traffic in EDSA. So, there's no way I'm going to get home at 6:30 p.m. So what I did was I parked in a gas station. And yes, I did my interview in the car, inside the car. So I was really nervous during that time, and I really didn't think that I'd pass, because the signal was terrible. But so far, I was able to answer some of their questions. And yeah, I did pass. I was really, really happy. And so come January, they provided the COS, or Certificate of Sponsorship. I applied for my visa in January, and I was bound to go to February 2021. The problem was, remember, I had an active application in Saudi Arabia. So there was a problem with my OEC, and that was the reason why I got delayed, and I was able to be deployed in March 2021, and here I am, already 1 month in the UK. This is my timeline, and it only took me like, what, 4 months, 5 months? That wasn't really long, right? It didn't even take half a year for me to get here. So if I can do that, then you can probably do that as well. Okay, so let's talk about my agency. So again, my agency is Professional Connections, and as far as I know, they're based in Ireland, I think. Their partner agency in the Philippines is ABBA. So the main role of ABBA is just to assist you in the visa application, or actually not visa application, but the OEC, the POEA papers, stuff like that. Mainly I talked to Profco about my application and stuff. So I really like that agency personally. This is just based on my opinion or my experience. What I like about them is they do give me an update all the time. Whenever I email them, they would, answer me right away. I can also just send a message in WhatsApp to the owner itself, because the owner is, she's very hands-on when it comes to her applicants. She's very responsive, along with the other staff that I've talked to. They do send a lot of paperwork, but I mean, I think for me that's good, because it means the agency is like, it's showing its commitment to its applicants. Like, they're not going to sugarcoat what kind of hospital or employer are you going to get in. are you going to get into. Everything is there in the paperwork, like what kind of hospital are you going to be working in, what are the wards, what do you need to expect salary wise, working hours, allowances. Yeah, I think everything is in the handout that they're going to give to you. And yeah, they've fully assisted us until we arrived here in the UK. So I had a really good experience when it comes to them. They paid for my expenses, such as the NMC Part 1 and 2 registration was, it was shouldered by me. The CBT was shouldered by me, but it's going to be reimbursed, as well as the IELTS. That's going to be reimbursed. The visa, the COS, the ticket, they all paid for that. So, you know, that's a really good deal for me. And the main catch is actually, like I said, the experience that they paid for. So if you have like 7 or more years of experience, then you're really gonna get a good salary from my employer. So my employer is West Hertfordshire Hospitals. They do have 3 hospitals. The biggest one is the one in Watford, which is where I'm currently working. It's the Watford General Hospital. They do have the St. Albans and the one in Hemel Hempstead, but I think those are like they focus on surgery or something. I'm not really sure because I haven't worked in there, but that's what I read from the handout. So yeah, but you know, I'm not sure about other agencies because I haven't really got in contact with them, or haven't really talked to them about, like, I haven't got an offer aside from the one in Essex. But yeah, who knows, right? Maybe there are other employers out there that's gonna pay for your experience as well. But so far, I'm happy with the agency that I've been in contact with. I'm happy with my employer, happy with the place in here. Nothing to really complain about, just the weather. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. Okay, so I think that is all about my timeline. Again, guys, I just want to mention this to you. I am an IELTS coach. I worked before in 9.0 Review Center. However, I had to give up that job because I couldn't commit to the schedule that they're offering. So what I do is I just do private coaching. So let me know if you want to avail of my service. I specifically teach writing and speaking, the academic IELTS. OET, I'm not really familiar with that because I haven't taken that and I haven't tried, you know, teaching that. So I'm more of IELTS. For listening and reading, yes, I do teach listening and reading, but I couldn't focus on that anymore because of my job in here. So I do apologize. But of course, you can ask me questions about it, anything that might help you pass your IELTS. But I'm going to drop in my email address, Facebook account if you need me to, or if you want to inquire about it. We can work out in the schedule, and who knows, we might meet here in the UK someday, right? And there you have it. I hope this video has been very helpful for you guys. As usual, if you think I'm talking too much nonsense in here, then you can tell me so, or if you have any recommendations of any future contents that you want me to do, then you can do so as well. If you want to message me or ask me any questions related to the NMC process or in the UK, you can also send me a message. Either you leave a comment in the YouTube, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, whatever is convenient for you, then you can do so as well. I'm going to reply if I am available. I think that would be all, and you all have a great day. Good luck in your application. Bye.